Hi, I'm Robert Gibson.
I'm Ricky Morton.
We're the Rock and Roll Express.
And you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Bujo. This is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of July 14th, 2014. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel for this week's Monday Night Raw review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, he is the incomparable Lance Moss from YouTube.com/LanceMossTV. Lance, how you doing?
Don't be a bully, be a Sonic Coney.
Ladies and gentlemen, somebody who wanted that Sonic Coney last night from Damien Sandow and Adam Rose, James from the Big Easy. James, how you doing?
I hope Ric Flair did not take this belt to Space Mountain. Oh, wait, he is Space Mountain. Never mind. What?
Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, finally someone who's visited Space Mountain quite a few times in his life. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike from Iowa. Mike, how you doing?
What?
And I think I brought Mike.
Can I just say Lance wins the internet?
I am king.
I'm good, guys. What's up?
And ladies and gentlemen, the Anime King here on the YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, from YouTube.com/Gohan6425, the always CM Punk supportive Gohan. Gohan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and Billy, all you have to do is believe in CM Punk coming back.
Oh, wait.
Well,
the lead part I would not have done. No.
Well, anyway, we start off Monday Night Raw with Roman Reigns coming down to start cutting a promo about Battleground, and out comes John Cena, of course, to his usual chorus of boos from the so-called fans who think they know the wrestling industry a lot more than other people do, and whatnot. And they start cutting a promo not only about the Battlegrounds, but also about main events. This is the go-home show to Battlegrounds. Then out comes Dean Ambrose. The scheduled main event was a six-man tag: Ambrose, Reigns, and Cena to take on Randy Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins. When as soon as Dean Ambrose finished cutting his promo, and by the way, Ambrose is just absolutely amazing when he's cutting his promos, he gets jumped by none other by Orton, Rollins, and Kane. And man, Lance, when he took that curb stomp on that board back there, man, you could tell, man, he had a big old gash on his chin.
Yeah, I kind of think that was from the particle board that he actually had his head on. And when somebody, it's easy to cut yourself on that shit.
Yeah, I can imagine. But you got to imagine, like I said, Dean Ambrose just going all out to make sure that the promo sells, and that's exactly what it did. And the fact that I kind of figured that they weren't going to make it an even main event. So.
Yeah. True.
But the opening match was the United States Champion Sheamus taking on the Hollywood movie star Miz. And well, Gohan, since you chimed in with the boo, your thoughts about this?
It was crap. That's all you really can say about it.
Well, yeah, you gotta say that. But again, you also get a huge announcement about a lot of the people who are going to be in the Intercontinental Championship Battle Royal at Battlegrounds, and I think they kind of overstated this way too many times on comments. I'm sorry?
That's another thing, Billy, is why is Sheamus in the Intercontinental match if he's the United States Champion?
I'm not sure, but I think he's probably just there to be there to have people in the Battle Royal. I don't necessarily think they're going to... I'm sorry?
Unify them then if he wins?
Well, yeah, it would, you know, why not? I mean, they unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. Why not unify the secondary championships?
It would be kind of dumb, though, because he didn't really beat anyone. He just, like, won it in a royal battle. So it would be kind of dumb if they did that.
Well, anyway, guys and gals, as we...
By the way, guys, in the Battle Royal, the man who believes is going to win the Intercontinental title.
Well, there's a bold proclamation right there from Mike from Iowa.
I had no idea James was in the Battle Royal.
Shut up, Lance. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this title and kick your ass with it.
As we move forward, Dolph Ziggler taking on Fandango. Fandango, the once luckiest guy in the WWE to be in the middle of a love triangle with Layla and Summer Rae, now found himself ousted, and it's just Summer Rae and Layla. And I gotta say, James, the table dance this week, a hell of a lot better than the one from last week.
Exactly. It's just because it's two females and not Fandango.
Who didn't rape JBL's hat.
True. Anyway, but it's really interesting where they're playing off this love triangle now. I guess love square now, apparently. Are we going that route now?
Well, I saw some interesting pictures from live events of Layla and Summer Rae actually kissing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's PG.
What?
HLA.
How about that? Fandango turned two women lesbian. How about that? Ziggler, however, did he was the lucky guy tonight, last night rather. He hit the Fameasser on Fandango off the distraction, getting the win, and he got to leave with both Summer Rae and Layla. Now, following that, we had a backstage segment, which I probably would have to call the funniest segment I have seen in quite some time in WWE. It was some workers backstage who ordered some Sonic food. Big ups to Sonic, good food over there, free plug. And apparently the Damien Sandow identity crisis continues, as now he believes that he works at Sonic. And go ahead.
He could work there after he loses his job.
Yeah, on the job training.
Anyway, Adam Rose comes up and they start having an issue over a hot dog, which apparently Adam Rose won by, of course, Damien Sandow wearing the skates and apparently not knowing how to skate. And then next thing you know, Adam Rose is eating the hot dog. Everyone's dancing, including the bunny that Cartman likes so much. I know when he hears this on on here, he's gonna hate me for that one, because every time I'm saying, he's like, "F the bunny, F the bunny." But that's pretty much how it happened. Following that, we had the Usos looked like they were getting ready for a tag team match, get assaulted by Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. Again, this is just a beatdown. A combination, in my opinion, Mike, of a beatdown and a build-up for the tag team championship match coming up in Battlegrounds.
Something you need?
Yeah, man. Like, I think we can safely assume, were they going to be facing the Wyatts? I mean, obviously, obviously, they probably weren't facing nobody since it was planned. But man, I love the Wyatt. I'm not just saying that because, a lot of the internet fans, oh my gosh, Bray Wyatt, oh, he lost to Cena, boo. I just generally like the gimmick. Just the whole scruffed up, whatever you want to call it, hillbillies, whatever you want to call them. It's just, I want them to be champions, and it's not just because I have them on my fantasy team against James either, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I love it. Love it.
Well, following that, we had what was coined as a détente, and Gohan, I know you and I will probably have to be on the exact same page when it comes to this. The only real and solid way that they had to turn Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger face was to pit them against Lana and Rusev. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But your thoughts on how the détente went?
I think it's good. I think what they're going to do for this Sunday, I think it'll be good. What I would like to see them do is the match end in a no contest possibly, and then build it up for SummerSlam and make it even better if they had that type of build. Not just flavors.
Well, Rusev, again, has yet to be pinned or made to submit in the WWE. However, he did have a disqualification loss on Friday Night SmackDown, so he does have one blemish on his record. For those of you, for some reason, keeping track.
Unpinned.
Up next, a rivalry renewed. These two guys, when Ricardo Rodriguez was still relevant, they feuded over the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm talking about Alberto Del Rio and Rob Van Dam. I gotta say, Lance, it was an okay match, but you know, it was like a finish we've already seen before out of these two, with RVD going for the 5-star, Del Rio countering it with the knees and immediately going into the cross arm breaker. That was just something we've already seen.
Yeah, millions of times. I mean, honestly, how I was kind of shocked. I thought, ain't Del Rio supposed to be leaving soon or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
There's rumors that he wants to retire soon.
He's been saying that since he started, though.
Yeah.
But can I say something real quick? You said Ricardo Rodriguez was irrelevant. Why you gotta talk about MVP like that?
Oh, damn.
Oh, dang. Oh, man. As I slowly walk away from that comment, we go on to, next up, Nikki Bella, again, in another handicap match, thanks to the little promo from Stephanie McMahon saying, "You should blame your sister," and yada, 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 and so on and so forth. Stephanie McMahon on the microphone, I tend to fade in and out. It's Alicia Fox and Cameron. And I kind of just faded in and out between this match, but it just turned out the way I thought it was going to turn out. Alicia Fox getting the pin over Nikki Bella. Again, it's going to be wrong for me to say it, but apparently Stephanie McMahon putting the screws to Nikki Bella when John Cena's not doing it. Up next, something I found very, very interesting. It's Big E taking on Cesaro, and James, there was no Paul Heyman in sight. What's up with that?
You know, this is really, it was interesting. I'm like, wait, where's Paul Heyman? And then basically, like, the announcer's like, oh, he got fired. No, I heard he's here. No, he's fired or something. Like, we don't know. But we see where Paul Heyman was later on in the show.
We definitely do.
Yeah, that was really bizarre.
Yeah, it definitely was. You know, it's very weird to see where they're going with this, but it was Big E came out with Kofi Kingston taking on Cesaro. Cesaro at one point wanted to use the chair. Kofi Kingston, with one giant leap, grabbed the chair from Cesaro from the outside, and Big E, with the big ending, gets the victory over Cesaro. And following that, Chris Jericho wanting answers from Bray Wyatt to talk about exactly why. And something I noticed, Gohan, fans are not exactly gravitating towards Bray Wyatt now that he's going against Chris Jericho like he was with John Cena. I mean, I even heard chants of boring from the crowd during Bray Wyatt's promo.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're going with this, but I also do believe that it could be because Bray Wyatt is, like, when he was going up against John Cena, you know, fans don't like John Cena. Obviously, most fans don't like John Cena, so that kind of helped Bray Wyatt, but now he's taking on a fan favorite in Chris Jericho, so that could also be the reason why it's affecting him, and he always being seen more as a heel, maybe. I don't know, but that's, you know, the way the fans work.
Mike, what's been your reaction to the crowd reaction to Bray Wyatt the way they did last night on Monday Night Raw?
Well, you know how I feel about Cena, especially after, you know, the post Money in the Bank review. It's sad. They turn on everybody depending on who is against who, and, you know, Bray Wyatt against Cena, you know, they're going to cheer for Wyatt. When Bray Wyatt was going against Daniel Bryan, they were booing Bray Wyatt. Now they're booing him again because they're going against Jericho. Now watch, next he's going to go against Triple H, and then they'll be cheering Bray Wyatt again. It's sad. I can't stand it. I had to delete a couple people off Facebook because of it. It just annoys me. I can't stand it. It's hypocrisy, man.
It's definitely the way that the fans react to it. It just really, it's kind of a bizarre setting to way WWE plays the entertainment value of Bray Wyatt. You know, they pit him against Cena, and all of a sudden he's wildly popular, and now against Y2J like we saw on Monday Night Raw. You know, and it just puzzled me because because they really gravitated towards him at first, and now they're chanting boring out of Bray Wyatt. So
could just be the person he's facing, though. Like I said.
Yeah, Jericho is indeed a very popular fan favorite when it comes to the WWE, and Jericho ended up getting a beatdown from the Wyatt family, which ended with the Sister Abigail on the stage, and I kind of noticed Wyatt was kind of being a little bit careful with that spot as Jericho his face landed on the chest of Bray Wyatt. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that's the way they executed that. If they would have done that, it probably would have broke his neck. But up next, it's AJ. We got Paige on commentary. AJ Lee, who is not pregnant, taking on Eva Marie. And like,
well, I knew that already. I didn't know who.
Really? But here's, you know, didn't we have AJ Lee versus Eva Marie last week? James, why are we having a repeat? And then following that,
WWE just doesn't give a shit.
But
James, the evolution's gonna begin soon.
No, it's not.
You know, Ecstasy 69 put this comment on an Impact review we did last week, saying that the WWE Divas have always been better than the TNA Knockouts. Really?
They were at a point.
They are. They just never give them a chance.
Eva Marie is better than Gail Kim?
Oh, no. Hold on. Time out. Since I'm the Divas correspondent, let me just let Billy finish his thing and let me talk.
But it's just what I don't understand is, you know, why is she being given a chance all of a sudden now? She still sucks in the ring and out. And what in the world, James, was that thing they did on commentary with Paige and AJ Lee? What in the world was that?
Okay, number one, let's go talking about Eva Marie. As you know, AJ Lee is now becoming more of a face character, and really they don't have much of the heels. The heels are basically doing Stephanie McMahon 30 work with Nikki Bella. So basically, you really don't have much of heels to go up against AJ one-on-one non-title. When you're talking about the TNA knockouts being and that they're, you know, what Ecstasy 69 was saying, I have to disagree at the point because there was a time where, you know, the knockouts were better than the Divas. Right now, the Divas are kind of slowly improving in ring skills. There's some who has been doing well, and Mike, oh my god. But anyway, but there's been some who has been doing well, and some who hasn't improved.
Oh god.
And that whole
James, hold on. I think we need to show this picture on the video. Put it back up, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Put it back up.
Oh, he's got a Dragon Ball Z thing on too.
Yeah. Kame. Anyways.
I bet you she was asking for money too.
No,
despite what you think of her, she is a real sweetheart. She really is.
But
let's say this.
Getting back to the Divas, though, I mean, the Divas are good. It's just that the ones that are not good. You know, you got your Naomis, you got your AJ Lees, you got your Summer Rae, you got your Paiges, you got your what was the other one? Layla was healthy. Layla was healthy. Natalya, yes. You got all your good divas, and then you got all your crappy divas like Cameron. Marie. No, Cameron should be fired, by the way. I don't know why. I don't know how she.
My favorite match is Melina versus Alicia Fox.
Yeah,
you're on crack.
Stone Cold seen it before WWE is. I don't know what WWE is doing. They're dropping the ball.
Really, with this, it's like WWE don't give the divas who can compete a chance to shine. basically. You see how they do it. How they do it with Emma before her punishment, basically.
Yeah.
You know how she's basically doing the whole thing with Santino. Yeah.
She'll probably be a jobber when come in. But here's the thing: Naomi should have won the belt against Paige at Money in the Bank. They shouldn't have given back to AJ Lee. AJ Lee shouldn't have got it back right away. I totally disagreed with that decision. You're gonna have Paige lose the belt. It should have been to Naomi because Naomi was the most deserving, I think, in my opinion, on that roster. And I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't get like lost in the shuffle like Maria did, because they totally lost a whole opportunity on Maria because she should have been the champion. And I think, and I see the same thing in Naomi happening.
Well, really.
Well, I'm sorry to cut this short, but we need to move on. From this topic.
One more thing. We talk about AJ and Paige, what they're doing at the end. I'm sorry. Basically, it's just basically. I think it's gonna be an act where Paige is acting all so sweet and nice, and then basically at Battleground, when she loses, she would just act all like, I could beat you up, basically type stuff.
Or turn heel.
Well, yeah.
That's basically what I meant. Yeah.
But following that, ladies and gentlemen, it was once again time.
No!
As the inspirational Bo Dallas took on the Great Khali. They get on the outside. He hits the running Bulldog. Khali gets counted out, so now he is 16 and Bo, ladies and gentlemen. And as Bo Dallas tried to, quote, inspire the Great Khali, Khali said, you know what? Nah, brain chop.
I knew that was coming, too. It's like...
It was like, enough of that. But following that, definitely something you've already heard. You guys have already seen the trailer for it. You know, a lot of people are wondering, what exactly was Sting talking about when he posted it between 7/14, 14. Well, we found that out on last week's Monday Night Raw, and you guys have already seen the trailer for it here on WGS-TV, Gohan, and that is the big reveal, a pre-order launch for WWE 2K15. As we can see, Mike here is proudly displaying.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mike proudly displaying his receipt, also for Mortal Kombat 10 as well.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 10
wait, though.
and Assassin's Creed Unity.
I'm gonna wait a little bit because here's the thing: they might make a special edition thing like they did like last year with the Taken thing or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna wait a little bit for, just to see that. But I'm hoping.
I find it pointless to buy.
I got goosebumps from that promo though.
I find it pointless to buy special editions just because you're basically going to put the thing on the shelf and never look at it again. The little collector's thing, so I find it pointless.
I know it wasn't live. I know it wasn't a real promo. It was a just an advertisement for WWE 2K15. But I literally, Billy, got goosebumps from that promo. Basically, I really
definitely. A lot of people had to figure Sting would be added into this year's video game with him being signed to a Legends contract within the WWE. Now, I think there were a lot of fans out there who were a little bit disappointed over the fact because they really wanted to see Sting there live on Monday Night Raw. Just imagine what kind of a blockbuster Monday Night Raw that would be, seeing an appearance from the only Stinger in the WWE. So that would. A lot of fans are a little bit disappointed about that, but again, it was kind of expected. We already knew that Sting was going to be in the game, and they just made the official announcement. And again, the trailer is here on WGS-TV, so you guys will be able to watch it. Up next, they bring out the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who my biggest concern for that, Lance, was I hope he didn't hit the mini bar before he went out last night, because when the last time we saw him on Monday Night Raw, it was between the Shield and Evolution, and when he came out for that one, that was just an absolute train wreck on the microphone.
I think he did hit the mini bar. It's just the last time we saw him, he shut down the bar down the street. He drank them out of house and home. I mean, because he was a little bit flushed, and it wasn't just because of Renee Young in the ring.
Oh, dang.
There's a reason they got him out of there quick. It's all I'm saying.
Renee asked for go ahead.
I say, you sure Ric Flair wanted to bring Renee Young to Space Mountain?
Well,
Did she meet? My question is, does she meet the age limit required for it? That sounded wrong.
There's no age limit on Space Mountain.
Anyway, as we march away from Space Mountain, they brought basically Ric Flair out there to give his prediction for the Fatal 4-Way at Battlegrounds, who he thought was going to win, and he picked John Cena, and it was something I posted on the Facebook page. I'm pretty sure all the Cena haters out there are now finding reasons to hate Ric Flair. I mean, if they found reasons to hate Dean Ambrose when he stopped Seth Rollins from cashing in on John Cena, I'm pretty much sure there are a lot of Cena haters out there who would be ignorant enough to find reasons to hate Nature Boy Ric Flair for picking John Cena to win at Battleground. So that's just my basic.
Dirtiest player in the game.
Hell, there were fans ignorant enough to believe that we should be glad CM Punk walked out on us too. So that's fans are just weird, dumb. But
anyway, let's get to the main event. It's a 3-on-2 handicap match. Roman Reigns and John Cena taking on Randy Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins. There were a lot of good spots in this match, but one thing that just was kind of laughable and yet disappointing at the exact same time, James, is when they did the first hot tag between Roman Reigns and John Cena. At first, the crowd was elated, and then they were disappointed.
Yeah, as I said, as many of us can say, you can't. It's just the fans, really. Those fans, they like you, they hate you, they turn on you, they cheer you for some odd reason. I don't know. I never get these fans.
What's realistic? Those fans that flip-flop back and forth, realistically, are only actually like 10% of the WWE audience. So realistically, you know,
it gets a lot of us flustered, when we try to talk about it, definitely. And of course, the matchup did go to a disqualification. Randy Orton and Kane beating down Roman Reigns. Then John Cena comes in to try to even things up, and, well, didn't really pan out to him. Randy Orton hits the RKO on Kane, of all people, after he took out Cena and supposedly Roman Reigns, I say that. And then as Randy Orton was doing his little taunt, he ends up being speared by Roman Reigns. And 99% of the time, whenever we see someone go over, and Roman Reigns definitely went over on the Go Home show to Monday Night Raw, whenever we see that, and this is just traditional wrestling logic, and I know that's a big surprise and a big taboo to some of the other people in the YWC, but 9 times out of 10, when we ever see someone go over on the Go Home show, then they're not going to go over on the pay-per-view. So as much as people would like to see Roman Reigns become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, I'm pretty sure a lot of the fanboys would wet their pants for that. Since we went. But 9 times out of 10, with Reigns going over on the Go Home show, then he's probably not going to go over on the pay-per-view. It's just something to think about. But anyway, with that being said, it is now time to go into overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment. Go ahead.
You forgot the Paul Heyman segment.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Well, go ahead. Y'all can mention it.
Well, I was just saying, for those out there who don't know, I mean, it pretty much already confirms what we already know. Paul Heyman pretty much came in and told Stephanie and Triple H, you want to for sure fire Plan C on the guy you should talk to, which pretty much tells us what we already know. Lesnar's going to be showing up. Lesnar's showing up soon. So, not much to really say because it confirms what we already know. But
it's going to be Lesnar
out there,
It's going to be Lesnar next week.
Watch out for Raw next week. The Beast is coming.
All right, guys. Well, again, now with that being said, it is now time to go on to overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Overall, with this Raw being the go-home show, there were a lot of funny segments. I definitely got to tip my hat to the Damien Sandow Sonic segment because not only was it funny, but it made me hungry at the exact same time. Speaking of which, as soon as I'm done, I'm probably going to go to Sonic for dinner.
You got to get a hot dog or you got to get a cheeseburger?
I'll probably get a cheeseburger just to stick it to you, James. Oh, that sounded wrong as well. Now I'm not hungry anymore. Anyway, overall, this week's Monday Night Raw, it was indeed quite entertaining. You know, also getting the big reveal, as somebody nearly threw up from what I just said, of Sting being in the WWE 2K15 games. You know, we got that. Not much answered between Jericho and Wyatt in that promo, other than the fact that the fans really don't like Bray Wyatt now, all because he's going against Chris Jericho. I'm not saying Chris Jericho ain't a bad person to go against, but it's just my feeling about it, you know. Overall, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Best match of the night, I definitely would have to go. Well, it's not going to be with Bo Dallas and the Great Khali, that's for sure. I'm probably going to have to give it to possibly Sheamus and The Miz. It was a really good work match. They kind of pulled out a surprise, you know, with Sheamus going for the Brogue Kick, missing it in the corner, but Miz rolled up Sheamus to get the victory, kind of giving almost a little bit of a push to The Miz at the exact same time. With the only other segment, I got to go to the Sonic segment to tie with the best match of the night for best segment of the night. Worst segment. I really do I have to talk about Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox and Cameron? Do we even have to mention AJ Lee and Eva Marie? Anytime, you know what? Eva Marie now applies to the same rule as the Dixie Carter rule. Whenever I see Eva Marie in any kind of a match on any program, automatic worst match of the night. And it's not AJ Lee's fault. I'm putting it squarely on Eva Marie because she sucks, and like I said, in the ring and out and backstage. So,
hey, don't watch SmackDown then.
Damn it. But anyway, that's been my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Let's start with Lance first. Get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Lance?
Well, overall, I give it a 3.5. Best match, the main event. Best segment, whatever in the blue hell Goldust and Stardust were talking about.
Can anybody translate that?
I don't know. I just enjoy kind of weird, crazy crap sometimes, and I just enjoy what they're doing.
Is that why you watch James on the Who Dat Temple?
No, that's why I watch you.
They were talking about joining chair shots for the homeless. That's what they were.
Worst match, the Nikki Bella match. Worst segment, the whole Sandow thing.
Anyway, let's go to James next. Get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. James?
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. The best match, I'm going to give the main event tag team match. No, not main event tag team match. Main event handicap match. Even though the match ended in a disqualification, I feel like that was better. I give an honorable mention to for best segment is for John Cena giving Ric Flair the WWE Big Gold Belt.
How about that? We have an honorable mention and Will's not even here.
I know, right? Well, I just feel like, you know, how we all know Ric Flair is known for this title. Even though the worst has to be the Divas handicap match. I'm sorry. Why are we having Nikki Bella lose week after week after week after week after week after week? The reason why AJ and Eva I'm not gonna put at is because what they did at the end with Paige and AJ, basically them being frenemies and acting all nice to each other, basically.
It felt like we were going to be on a teen drama when I was hearing that going back and forth. Like, we're frenemies! Go to Teen Nickelodeon or some shit like that.
Hey, it helps the storyline with those two.
Yeah, well, they should come up with better dialogue for that crap. That's all I'm going to say about that. Up next, it's Mike from Iowa with his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Mike?
First off, Billy's probably going to kill me. I didn't mind Eva Marie's wrestling last night. I really did. I thought she actually improved just a little bit. Anyways, before I get killed, Worst segment, it's probably 3.5 out of 5. Worst segment, Divas handicap match. I don't even know what to say. I can't stand Cameron. I have a photo with Cameron, and I can't stand Cameron. So I'm not pulling that one up. Best segment for me was the Zeb Coulter, Jack Swagger, Rusev Lana segment. For some reason, I just stood up and clapped. I don't know what it was. Just something about that. I felt a legit intensity for some reason. That and the fact there was a Putin 316 sign in the crowd. That made me laugh so bad.
Can I make that another honorable mention of mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Anyway, guys and gals, finally we go to Gohan and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Gohan?
Okay, the overall for Raw, I give 2 out of 5. I wasn't very enthused by this Raw. The worst match, as much as I hate The Miz, I'd have to go with the pointless handicap Divas match here because Cameron sucks just as bad as The Miz does. And worst
more.
worst segment would have to be the Goldust and Stardust things, just because I just don't understand this at all. I don't know why he has to be Stardust anyway. Yeah. Best match. I'd have to go with the I guess the freaking Cesaro match, I guess.
Cesaro and Big E?
Big E was pretty good. I mean, that was probably the best one out of them all. There's nothing really interesting about any of the other matches. And then finally, the best segment, again, like Michael said, the U.S. and the Russian segment I thought was very good, with an honorable mention with the Paul Heyman segment as well, because I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, so how about that, ladies and gentlemen? We're having honorable mentions, and the Bay Area MVP, known as Will, is not here. So what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, is Will, as soon as he hears this, probably going to hunt me down.
And kill you.
He's going to kill you for calling him
with
a
cheeseburger. Hey, you said that, not me. Anyway. What we want to know now from you guys out there is, I'm probably going to die in the next video, is what we want to know is what you guys think of Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw? We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Guys, Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
I got album reviews, NASCAR review, discussion videos, Redneck Gourmet cooking videos, out some instrument and equipment reviews, and I just also got videos where I just spout my mouth off. And well, if you hadn't subscribed, why hadn't you?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, over in the Who That Temple, the #1 commandment is to always honorably mention cheeseburgers. It's James from the Big Easy. James, got anything coming up?
Hey, I'll let you slide because you say I only mentioned cheeseburgers. You didn't say the other one. Anyway.
Don't leave!
Shut up, Lance.
That's the second commandment.
Oh, anyway. Oh my God, Mike.